Is there only one pathway to pro hockey? Just because you're not playing major juniors this year and you're not drafted doesn't mean it's not over. If you're not Division 1, doesn't mean it's not over. There are opportunities that will present themselves if you work for them. Welcome back to another AHA video. Today we're going to go over a question that we get asked in 90% of our consults. Whether the players are U13, 14, 15, junior hockey, or even college hockey. It's the big question. Is there only one path to play pro hockey? Do you have to play AAA, then get drafted major juniors, then play major juniors, and either sign pro or go straight to college and then pro? How does this all work? Now, here's the easy answer. No, there's not one pathway. And you can see hundreds and hundreds of different stories of people who made it through different backdoor ways. And one that comes off the top of my head is Logan Thompson, the goalie. He's currently in NHL, played juniors, went to U Sports, signed out of U Sport, made it to the Vegas Golden Knights, and he's still in the NHL now playing. Everybody has a different pathway. The stereotypical pathway that everybody spoke about for the last 50 years was you played AAA, you got drafted major juniors, whether that was the OHL, the WHL, the QMJHL, or the USHL. Then you got drafted to the NHL, you signed the contract, and you worked your way up the ladder. That was the standard. That was the expectation. Coming from Quebec, that's all you ever taught. College took a rise. People started understanding that college hockey is very, very competitive and is the right stepping stone, right? If you're not quite ready for the NHL, why would you go play in the East Coast at 20? Go play college hockey, develop, go straight to the American League. If you're not drafted, go play college hockey and get signed as a free agent. College hockey has opened the door to expanding your lifeline, your career, and giving you more opportunity to develop and grow as a hockey player. Traditionally, you played juniors till you were 20, and then at 21, you either tried to go into the East Coast, the SPHL, the Fed, or straight to the American League and the NHL, depending on your skill level. And then the alternative was for those who weren't good enough, went U Sports and tried to develop that way. Now, people are seeing that college hockey is a great timeline. It could be anywhere from 1 to 4 years where you develop, play versus the best of the best, and as a free agent, if you are a free agent, open the doors to all 32 teams in the NHL, all the American League teams, and all the East Coast teams coming to pick you up, and you work your way up. There are players every single year that are either seniors or juniors that are graduating that decide to finish the year in the East Coast, play anywhere between 3 and 15 games, depending on if they keep you for playoffs or not. And it could be more than 15. And from there, we'll either re-sign in the East Coast to start the year, or with that little sample of pro hockey, we'll get an AHL contract, a two-way AHL contract, and potentially start in the American League. And that's all because they went to college hockey. There are even some stories of players playing Division III hockey and signing pro deals. There's a goalie that played for Norwich University, Division III. It was unbelievable. He signed an American League contract in the AHL for Chicago. He was up and down between the East Coast and the American League, but he went Division III and signed an AHL two-way contract because he was that strong and that good in Division III. It opens the door. Playing college hockey opens the door to pro. You might start Division I and, not have a great freshman season, have a great sophomore season, transfer your junior year, be unbelievable, and sign an NHL contract. There are players that do that year after year, and now that the portal is open every single year, yes, it makes college hockey a little bit more of a nightmare, because players are always looking to change schools and change programs, and the loyalty is a little bit out the door. They start one school and work their way up throughout their 4 years and get an opportunity to sign pro afterwards. Let's bring it back a little bit. You played Junior A. You went Division III. Great. Division III, you dominated. You worked on your skills every single day. You put in a ton of work. You either transferred to D1 mid-college career, or maybe you signed in the SP. Once you got to the SP, you did really well. From the SP to the East Coast, there is a ton of movement every single year because guys are always getting called up. So there's always an opportunity. There's injuries left and right. So you continuously have an opportunity. If you do well in the SP, you can work your way up. Go to the East Coast. Go up from there. There's a goalie named Dylan Kelly. I remember coming out of college, he went to the SP, did really well, got called up to the East Coast, did well, got called up to the American League. All in the same season, and he did well at every level. And then he stayed in the East Coast and up and down in the American League. Great Division III goalie, great pro goalie. He gave himself an opportunity, and he worked his way up and gave himself a pro career. And this happens year after year. There is a ton of stories like this. So no, there is no one strict way to pro hockey. You could be playing overseas. You can go from North America to juniors overseas to the pro league overseas to coming back to North America and the American League, and then working your way up. Coming back to the East Coast, there's a ton of people that do that. They go overseas to get some experience. From there, they get a good resume and they come back to North America, and vice versa. Some go in North America and then transfer over to Europe because there's a ton of good pro leagues in Europe as well. The SHL, the KHL, two of the best. Liga in Finland, unbelievable league. France, Magnus, the Dell 2. There is a ton of good hockey around the world, and it's not one strict way that'll get you there. There are hundreds of different pathways you can take. You could be having a very average, mediocre junior career, college career. It takes one good game seen by one scout to give you an opportunity, and you have to make the most of it from that opportunity. There are goalies who get recruited out of warm-ups. They will watch you in warm-up and make a point of it, saying, I saw this kid in warm-up, how dialed he is. I'm going to make sure I watch another game. It started from a warm-up that he was a backup in. You never know when someone's watching. You never know who's watching. So if you make the most of every opportunity, every game, every moment on that ice, every time a puck is coming towards you, whether you're a player or a goalie, someone might take notice. Someone might make a call for you. Someone might have a friend who knows a friend who knows a friend who can get you an opportunity. And once you're there, once your foot is in the door, now you have to make the decision, do I run with this? Or do I let them take it away from me? The thing to remember is that 1% of players are going to play pro hockey. And 1% of that 1% are going to play in the NHL. Playing in the NHL is still very, very difficult and is the dream of everybody. So it's the most competitive, the hardest goal to obtain. Playing pro hockey, still very difficult. But there's other levels of pro, other areas of pro, other dynamics that you can explore to extend your hockey career, to continue to play the game you love, and have an incredible journey in life experiences. Speaking from personal experience, I played pro hockey in Europe, very short amount of time because of COVID and because of an injury, but I loved my experience. We used to play 2 days a week and then travel the rest of the week. I got to see multiple different countries, multiple different cities, and travel to an area of the world I probably wouldn't have gone to if it wasn't for hockey. Did I make the big bucks? No. Do I regret it? Absolutely not. I would go do it over again, just so that I can experience that. Everybody who plays this game, every kid has a goal in mind of either playing college or pro hockey. Whether it's Division III ACHA, it's still college hockey. You're still in the top 3%. Whether you're playing in the East Coast, the American League, the SP, or overseas, it's still pro hockey. You're getting paid to play a sport that you love. You probably can't do it forever, but if you get a chance to do it for a year or 2 years, why not? There's a ton that we can go into when it comes to pro hockey. The different routes, the different things to look at, the scouting, the coaching. There is so much that we can go into. But the first and main point of this is the fact of, if your goal is to play pro hockey, there's more than one way to do it. And if you have more questions about it, you want to look into this, it's something that interests you, please feel free to reach out to us. We would love to get on a call and explain this to you. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this helped give a little bit of information, a little bit of background on the fact of the pro hockey landscape is changing. Other information you're looking for, you might like this video or this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.